And a good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the Tricky Triangle 80 here. Next Gen Cars Full Throttle Racing Sunday night. Do apologize for the little bit of the late start. I literally just loaded into the session because I had to reinstall iRacing because it wouldn't connect to the server. So, yeah, not this server, just in general could not connect to iRacing. So, yeah, do apologize about the little bit of the late start here as we are getting into gridding, as we'll go ahead and run through your qualifying grid here as we are getting ready to start this race. We're getting the camera swapped over here. As you see on pole position here tonight, going to be that 48 Ally machine of AJ Green picking up your pole position. And it's going to be Colin Forster in that P. He is going to be lining up in that outside pole. And it's going to be the G unit, Bradley Wilson. He's going to be lining up P3 here tonight at Pocono with that 77 of Clayton Kincart lining up P4. Then row 3 going to go to that 89 of Dan Gallant, that 23 of Jimmy Green. They're going to be lining up in that 5th and 6th position. And then Josh Carver making his way back in the Dale Earnhardt Ford Mustang. He's going to be lined up P7. Good to see Carver back after being away for a couple weeks. We're going to have Stan Mayberry, the 68 machine. He is going to be lined up outside of him here tonight, P8. Then it's going to be Ed Bauer, P9, with Austin Gee riding out your top 10, who hasn't gridded up yet, as well as Scrappy, 2 week in a row race winner, lining up P11. Now it looks like they both just gridded in, Chris. There they go. You see about their cars. Then it's going to go to the 44 of Daniel Shipp, lining up P12. William Brown going to be P13. Lance Hill, P14. Then it's going to be Brian Seaborn in that 14 machine, lining up P15. David Salter, P16. Jonathan Coombs, P17. Casey Cullenbeck, P18. Austin Rhodes going to be lined up P19 tonight with Brian Chew, 20th. Matthew Fitz, 21st, with Brian Hubel, 22nd. James Morgan, 23rd. Robbie Bice, 24th. And that 22 machine of Chad Hitchcock going to round out your field here tonight in 25th. As we get rolling here, the next gen car is going to get up on the track, get those tires warmed up, as we are going to see some fun action here at Pocono, man. I'm excited to see these cars through turn 1 and down the long Prada straightaway here for the first time tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how these cars, go into handling Pocono. We have done a couple of races here, Josh, with the Full Throttle guys. We do know that they do know how to drive this track. They do know how to handle it. So it's going to be one of those things to see how they handle the tunnel turn. We do know that the tunnel turn in turn 3, that's not the turn that you really have to worry about. It's that turn number 1. That's the turn that's going to get everybody. It's going to kind of shuffle everything up. So we're going to see how it goes into that because, as you know, no turn 4.
Turn 4, and each turn here, really modeled after every other or another kind of track from the other start. Goodness gracious, can't talk. Every turn here modeled after another racetrack in the United States. So pretty cool, man. There's a lot of history not only in Pocono but in the turns here as we roll it through the Milwaukee Mile inspired turn number 3 and down to the front straightaway as the iRacing pace car going to bring the field out of turn number 3 here for the last time tonight. What turn 4? As we get ready to roll here. Let's get those seatbelts buckled. Get ready, drivers. Here we go. Green, green, green. William Brown. AJ Green, Colin Forster. Going to bring us to the green flag as we see a good little start here. A lot of packed up race. It is Pocono, basically a super speedway, as I like to call it. Big old 2.5 mile oval. Races a lot like Talladega with the pack, but you'll see him get separated here as Josh Carver not making up. Oh, not. Ooh. He's been gone for a couple weeks, but looks like Josh Carver still got that intensity, Chris.
Yeah, still showing that intensity from that 3 machine. We do know that he's one of those drivers that gets out there. He can get to the front real quick. So let's see how long it takes that 3 machine to start moving his way up. You see Dan Gallant going to take that high outside lane into that tunnel turn. It's not a place that you really want to be. You wash up, get really tight up against that wall. You see Dan Gallant getting a little loose back there. But Stan Mayberry looking really good. Moving his way up through, or falling back just a couple of his positions, excuse me. Look at this, William Brown falling back, moving up, excuse me, I'm looking at the ticker wrong. William Brown moving up a couple of positions, so that's good to see. But up front, Colin Forster is taking over the lead from AJ Green. Whoa, look at that block there. Colin Forster going to go to that outside lane. Let's see how that 48 AJ Green handles it. You see him tucking down to that inside line. See if Bradley Wilson, the G unit, he is currently sitting in that third place position. So let's see. It looks like AJ Green going to go ahead and move up to that third place position. But that's going to open up the door for Clayton Kincart. He's going to take the inside lane on the tunnel turn. Whoa, going to have a door bang there. 48's going to go up into the wall, but he's not. He's going to save it. Going to hold it off of the wall. So the 77 and the 48 getting a little door bangy there at lap 2 of 80. So, woo, seeing the 77 starting to get a little aggressive there at the beginning. Dan Gallant in the wall a little bit back there.
Yeah, I was going to say that 77 coming to the tunnel turn right there. Made a pass that usually doesn't stick very well, and he made it stick. I mean, a little bit of contact with that 48 of AJ Green. Them boys got it gathered back up. Josh Carbonell to that back bumper. Looks like the 48 going to peek his nose here in turn 1. That 77 going to shut the door real quick. Kincart in that third position right now, up 1 spot right behind his team. Wreck in turn 1. Jonathan Coombs says, oh, yeah, big wreck. I'm knowing William Brown. Oh, 02 of Matthew Fitz up the track. Or excuse me, 02 of Jonathan Coombs up into Matthew Fitz.
I see the 28 of Robbie Bice around. Yeah, there was a lot going on back there. We'll actually go back and see what happened. Oh, that is not what I clicked. Riding on board here with that 28. Let's see if we can see what happened here. Oh, it just looks like, oh, it happened in front of him. Go back and see.
It was originally that one machine at Lance Hill.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. So we rewind one more time. Yeah, it looks like the 27.
27 of, yeah. And that's where William was coming over the radio apologizing, so. Got in too hard right there. Washed up. Made contact with that one machine. Hill's going to go around. You're going to see the O2 originally get past him. And, you know, we know Jonathan Coombs last year in the preseason testing race, full throttle, that, you know, when we first started getting on with these guys, you know, he made a save down there. It looks like this time around in these next-gen cars, not as easy to save. You see it get around right there. And he collects his teammate, man, unfortunate, with Robbie Bice as well. Robbie going to get a big shot into that into the rear end of that race car to that inside wall after the initial contact. You see him get some contact there with Hill. And then as he's rolling up there, the O2 gets around, bam, into Matthew Fitz. Matthew Fitz into Robbie Bice. And Matthew Fitz just over driver chat now. Just my luck every race.
Yeah, so unfortunate there for that 2 of Matthew Fitz. You see the O2 of Jonathan Coombs. It just looked like the car just wouldn't settle for him, and you see it just snap back up into the racing surface, and around everybody goes. So that's unfortunate at lap 3 for that 28 machine, the 2 machine, and that O2 machine, and that 1 machine of Lance Hill. But that is one of the things that we were talking about going into this race. You know, it was going to be how turn 1 got handled. You know, the tunnel turn and turn 3. It's not you know, that's not the turn that you really have to focus on. You know, yeah, the car can be really loose going around that corner in 3. You know, 1 and 2, it's kind of, you know, you just kind of have to huck it at the turn. But you know, in turns 3, it's just, you know, you kind of float. But turn 1, it's one of those things where if you get into it too hot, you see what happens.
Well, you know, a big talking point with a lot of the drivers, you know, not even in this series, I've just heard, you know, next gen in general is the car's just very, very snappy. You know, they seem like they have not a lot of rear end grip once the car goes around, you know. And the thing they say is the car is so mechanically gripped up that, like, you can almost do whatever you want to with it. But once you reach that limit in the next gen cars, it just goes. There's no indication. There's no signs. It just goes. So it looks like, you know, that could have been something that the O2 suffered with right there. He just went to grab it. The car just went, and, you know, once you're loose, you're just a passenger right there. You're really not much you can do when the race cars just going nose first at a wall. So it's kind of tough to save that. Unfortunate for that, man, but, you know, that's just been another thing that's been talked about these next-gen cars. Maybe not in the real world, but on the platform. Is you can drive them on the edge a lot, but once you step that boundary just by a hair, man, it'll come out and bite you real quick. It'll show you who's the boss.
Yeah, good to see Robbie Bice pulling his way out of pit lane right now. Got a little bit of a damage repair from that 28 machine, so you see him pulling around in that 811 dig machine out there supporting the sponsors tonight. So Robbie Bice in that 811 machine, and also his teammate, the 88 of David Salter, also in that 811 dig car tonight. So 2 drivers out there in the pack right now, as you saw Robbie Bice getting tangled up in that lap 3 incident. But hey, it's a long race, so we'll see how it ends up.
A long race indeed. 6 laps here at out of 80. We'll come back here at lap number 7 as you see that one machine of Lance Hill pulling his way out of pit lane. Gonna have to get himself up to speed back around the racetrack. So he get caught back up with his pack, some rear end damage on that race car still, but overall, seems like he might have gotten away the best out of all the cars involved in that last accident. Sounds like he's still got full engine RPM. He gets his own little flyby right there.
Yeah,
next gen cars, man, even on the platform, Chris, they sound really good.
Yeah, they do. Like we were talking about earlier, I've noticed that the next gen cars though, just they got to get the hit boxes figured out on these cars. That is one thing that I've noticed about the next gen cars is the hit boxes on them. It's weird. Sometimes, you know, whenever they should have contact, they don't have contact, and whenever they shouldn't have contact, they do have contact. So it's just one of those weird hit boxes.
Yeah, I agree. We've definitely seen a lot of contact that, you know, initially looks like it could have been avoided just from the hit boxes maybe being smoothed up a little bit. It still is the new car to the platform. We know iRacing shows every car love. I mean, they go back and update all the way into the, you know, the Lotus 98T still. So a lot of cars get love on this platform. And I know as big as the oval scene is, and then with the next gen's coming up here in just a couple months, you know, iRacing's going to roll out the updates soon.
Yeah, and also just wanted to point out real quick, Austin Rhodes, he is currently on Twitch doing a live stream for Ryan Sword. He had a death in the family, so he's not here tonight. As the green flag is out, I will finish that point here in a second. The 9 machine getting off to a good jump. Look at that. Bradley Wilson falling back just a little bit on that restart. Clayton Kincart, excuse me, said that backwards, getting a really good push there from that 3 of Josh Carver. So let's see if that 77 can get a good push into turn 1 as they're going to dive it down. AJ Green going to ride that middle lane. Whoa, you see a little bit of wiggle there from that 3 machine coming out of turn 1. So maybe just a little bit of looseness, maybe getting on that gas a little too soon. See the 9 of Colin Forster getting out to a really good jump. 77 there of Clayton Kincart going to go to that inside lane. Let's see if the 48 of AJ Green's going to be able to keep it up. Yeah, he will. It looks like the 77 might fall in line behind the 48. No, it doesn't look like it. Looks like maybe he's going to try to take that inside lane, but he's going to go ahead and fall back into turn number 3. But at lap 7 coming to 8, Colin Forster is leading the field with Bradley Wilson right behind him. So it looks like this is going to be a good race here.
Sorry, I thought I had my mic muted. Looks like early, we've got just a little bit of hanging out up here between the 2 leaders. I mean, Bradley seems like he's trying to get his way around now, that 9 machine of Colin Forster. He's going to go to the outside here as he got big into the gas early. That washed him up the track, but it's going to put him too wide. He got a good run still out of the corner. And, man, that 51 machine's moving down the back straightaway here. He's going to set himself up into the tunnel turn here with that 9 on the inside. And so they're going to go too wide into the tunnel turn. 51 going to back out. Everybody knows that outside lane. Probably the worst spot to be on the track during that tunnel turn.
Yeah, I do apologize about our dogs barking in the background. They normally don't bark, but I guess something is going on outside that they don't like. You see the 48 going below the yellow line there. It's going to be 3 wide coming out of the turn. Whoa, the 48 going to go ahead and get right up on that back bumper. The 51 of Bradley Wilson going to push him to that inside lane. 48 of AJ Green going to go ahead and take that outside lane. Whoa, you see the 48 leaning all on the 51. AJ Green doing a really good job getting up here and mixing it up with Bradley Wilson. Bradley Wilson going up just a little bit. You see that 3, Josh Carver, kind of hanging out, trying to figure out where these boys are going to go. He's going to pick that 51 of Bradley Wilson, going to go to that inside lane. Let's see if that 77 of Clayton Kincart is going to have anything to offer that 48 as he's coming up to the back bumper now. Whoa, we got Ed DeBauer loose back there. Looks like he's going to straighten it up coming out of turn 2. So Ed DeBauer getting a little loose, and you see in the field having to check up there a little bit, but he's going to get it situated and getting straightened out. We're going to go back up here in the front as it looks like the 48, AJ Green, going to go ahead and get around Bradley Wilson. So Bradley Wilson going to fall back to that third position. It still looks like Colin Forster, he's enjoying this battle and back behind him. Let's go back here. We see James Morgan leading the pack as you see a couple of drivers going side by side. It looks like Bradley Wilson's going to go to that inside lane. Clayton Kinkart going to go to the inside. So maybe he has something to... Nope, it looks like Clayton's going to go ahead and fall back. But now that 3 machine has got himself on that outside lane. Going to leave that 77 outside of the draft. So you're going to see that outside lane just kind of pull off. Going through the tunnel turn here. Everybody's going to get... Whoa, the 48 getting really loose.
Big wiggle from the 48. Yeah, big wiggle from the 48. Under pressure now from the 51 of Bradley Wilson. Let's see if that opens him up into the Milwaukee Mile-inspired turn 3 here. It looks like it's not. That 3 of Josh Carver, though, man, starting to peak a little bit. We'll see if we'll see what that 3 machine does. First race back in a while. You know, he's definitely fiending for these positions here. As much as Josh Carver loves to pass people, and as much as I've been passed by Josh Carver, expecting to see this Goodwrench machine pass here in a second, or get ready to try to make a pass. He's pretty aggressive right now, it seems like, and he's wanting to make some moves early.
Yeah, as we were riding on board there with that 3 machine, we saw the 9 of Colin Forster getting all kinds of out of shape up there. So maybe AJ Green got into the back bumper of that 9 of Colin Forster and pushed him out of the way. He'll actually go on...
into the inside here through the tunnel. That's going to push him up wide. Oh, man, almost contact. A little bit of contact, maybe. Oh, they're still wrecking. There's that hitbox you were just talking about, Chris. On lap 6, by the way. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what it just did, but I clicked on yellow flag, and that's where it took me to. Yeah, as you see the 9 just...
maybe not as much net code. It might have looked like it a little bit. He did definitely get in the quarter right there, but we'll have to see. Let's see. He does wash up the track right here. I think he's trying to cover that real estate to Bradley Wilson.
Yes, it looks like Colin Forster might have just went up just a little bit and got into the right quarter panel there of that 48 AJ Green.
No, Josh Carver just disconnected due to incoming packet loss.
Oh, no. Let's go a different camera view, see if we can see what happened here. It looks like maybe the 9 got a little loose and drifted up into that quarter panel of the 48 AJ Green. Gonna send
Did AJ
around.
Keep it off the wall here? A little bitty, like, Formula Drift, like, bumper tap right there. Good freaking save by the 48, man. That was really hands-on. I mean, a little bit of damage right there on that right quarter panel. Definitely going to have some scuffs on that rear bumper. But that could have been a lot worse for that ally machine. AJ Green, man, just did one heck of a job saving that race car.
Yeah, what I was talking about earlier, as the green flag dropped, Austin Rhodes is actually doing an in-car camera. So anybody that's interested in going and watching the stream from Austin Rhodes' point of view, you can definitely watch that 12 machine. We got a lot of drivers coming down pit lane right now. It's like Colin Forster, Logan Rhodes, Jimmy Green, Clayton Kinkart, William Brown, Bryant Seaborn, AJ Green, Stan Mayberry, Austin Gee, everybody's switching around now. We've got a lot of drivers down pit lane. Looks like Bradley Wilson, Dan Gallant, James Morgan, David Salter, Lance Hill, and Brian Hubel all stayed out. Seeing that 14 machine coming out of pit lane. We see Clayton Kinkart going to win the battle out of pit lane. 14 of Bryant Seaborn, Brian Chew. And at 18, the Candyman Brian Chew going to pull out in that 9th position. So he's going to be the 3rd out with Jimmy Green right behind him. Logan Rhodes going to pull out behind his teammate with William Brown right behind him. You see Stan Mayberry, Austin Rhodes, Austin Gee, Ed DeBauer, Robbie Bice, Casey Collenbach all coming out. All right, and while we're under caution, we'll go ahead and go to an 811 dig commercial break. So remember to call before you dig.
When do you plan on putting in that new fence we've been talking about since last summer?
I guess I could start tomorrow.
Protect the ones you love and protect your buried utilities by contacting 811 before you dig, either by phone, the web, or the NC 811 app. Know what's below before you dig. Visit nc811.org to learn more. If recent storms have caused damage to your property, contact 811 before you begin your cleanup. Buried utilities around uprooted trees can make a bad situation worse if those lines are not located before digging. Electric, natural gas, and internet lines are everywhere, and knowing where they are is the safest way to start any digging project. Call North Carolina 811 by dialing 811 or by using single address ticket on nc811.org or the NC811 app.
This tree is going to look great here.
Did you call 811 to protect your underground utilities?
I can't wait to see these roses come up.
Dig, dig, dig! Wait, we forgot to call 811.
Before you dig, make sure you can. Call 811 to know what's below. It's up to all of us to protect the ones we love.
And welcome back from that commercial break. Brought to you by NC811 Dig. Remember, always call before you dig. As we get ready to go here. Can't tell you about any ancient burial grounds, but I can definitely tell you about some like very important pipes and stuff. So always make sure to call before you dig, though. But as we get ready to go back here, it's going to be that 51 Bradley Wilson, 89 Dan Gallant, James Morgan. He's going to get himself up here 20 spots. That 43 Richard Petty inspired machine always looks very good as he's rolling himself up here. Channel shine on the quarter panel. That 43 machine sitting himself up in third. And man, I'm still waiting to see that James Morgan good finish. Since his debut has looked very solid. Just hasn't gotten that finish I feel like he deserves. And we'll see if that 43 is one of those drivers that can get it done here tonight at Pocono as we get going back green. 51 Bradley Wilson, 89 Dan Gallant, gonna get us going back here. But it looks like that 51 definitely got off to a lot better of a restart. 43 now to the inside here as they come it down into turn number 1 here. Lap number 15 of 80. If you're going to see James Morgan battling Dan Gallant, looks like he's going to be a wheel ahead into turns number 1 as he is going to dive it down in there. David Salter sitting up in that 4th spot. He started in that 16th position. He's currently sitting in 12th with Lance Hill, that guy that was involved in that wreck, you know, just a little bit ago, one of those cautions. Yeah, he's back up here. So that just shows you that 5 machine, as like I was saying, he might have had some damage, but it looks like he was the least damaged out of everybody, even though he was the main victim of the wreck originally. Looks like that race car still got some get up and go to it.
Yeah, it looks like Bradley Wilson's getting out to a really good jump. You know, he was one of those drivers that didn't come down pit lane, so he's still sitting on his original start tires. James Morgan came down lap 4. Don't know if he took tires. It did say that he was down for 48 seconds, so I would assume that he did come down and take tires. So maybe that 43 on a different play, but look at that. David Salter going to the inside of that 48. See if he can make it stick. David Salter trying to run that middle lane.
Contact a little bit.
A little bit of contact there from that 88. Maybe he's just going to go ahead and tuck it in back there. Look at all the cars fanning out behind him, though.
Yeah, very packed up in the back, but it looks like right here as you see that 8 machine of Logan Rhodes, 2-time race winner this season as he's won the back-to-back races here, won week 7 and week 8 last week. We'd love to make it 3 times in a row as he's currently sitting in the spot he started 11th. But we'll see if Scrappy and that Caterpillar 8 machine is going to be able to work his way up through there. We know those Rev guys really loving what Scrappy's doing out there. He's been on a good little mission here mid-season.
Whoa, did you see him getting down below the apron there, getting a little loose, jumping up in front of that 68 of Stan Mayberry. So maybe running just a little low down coming out of turn 3, but it looks like that 88 machine of David Salter starting to fall back just a little bit. And there's about a half-second gap between him and that 48 of James Morgan. Look at that, James Morgan all over the back bumper of Bradley Wilson.
I'm hearing spinning 1 from Robbie Bice. Never mind, I heard gathered it up, so that's why you're seeing a lot of that fanning out right now down the back straightaway. Nah, it was Clayton Kenkart.
as we go back to the camera, you see the 88 of Dan Gallant getting really loose. So maybe coming out of the tunnel turn, just something that 89 just did not like as he was coming out. Whoa, as I say that, you see Brian Hubel getting really loose in front of him. So that's going to open up the door for that 23 of Jimmy Green. We do know Jimmy Green's had a couple of issues these last couple of races, so he definitely wants to get up here and start mixing it up with the front. As you see, whoa, we're going 3 wide into turn 1.
Track. Stand. The 8. Big contact there as we're going to gather it back up. Man, that could have been some trouble. These boys at lap number 18 getting aggressive here. Boys, it's lap number 18, not lap number 18, so calm it down.
Yeah, you see Brian Hubel on the inside there of the 14. Brian Seaborn having to check out just a little bit. See,
David Salter's in the lead. What the heck? What did we miss?
Yeah, go up front. David Salter in the lead. I was just talking about how he had fallen back a little bit. Maybe that 51 of Bradley Wilson just having something that he didn't like. Oh, yellow flag is out.
Back in the front stretch.
Clear your stuff. Clear your head.
14, Bryant Seaborn around. Oh, there goes the 77 into him.
It looks
Clayton Kincart.
Yeah, it looks like Bryant Seaborn, William Brown, Josh Carver jumped the pits.
William Brown just rolling down the back stretch. Sorry, not trying to laugh at William Reckon, but you know, it was just that was. Oh man, he went upside down. 27's upside down right here. Oh, look at the 14. Man, this was a wreck right here. 48's got the 27 on top of his car. 27's going to go onto the other side. I mean, he just went the Dubai 2-wheel left to right. I mean.
And then you see Clayton Kincart just trying to get it woed up, but getting into the back of that 14. But
just a little bonk. And I think AJ Green, man, might be the most patient man in the world. I mean, he usually gets caught up in some pretty bad wrecks every now and then, but every time he's just always so patient and giggly. I think he's just here having fun, man, and I think that's what it's kind of all about sometimes.
Yeah, so lap 20 of 80, we've got our third caution of the night. As you saw right there, the 48, AJ Green getting into the 27 of William Brown, sending him around, almost flipping him over, and then the 14 of Bryant Seaborn also riding doing his best Tony Hawk impersonation, doing a little bit of a wall ride there. And then the 77 of Clayton Kincart, just nowhere to go, trying to get it checked up, but just into that back bumper.
Yeah, it's just it seems like right now we just got a lot of overambitious driving. I mean, that's what's going to happen when you're at a track that's very stacked up, especially when you got, you know, enough runoff area to run, I swear, 10 wide on the front straightaway. It just it's very appealing. It looks like, hey, I can make this run, I can make it stick, and then you go into a turn 4 wide and turn 1 and you're, oh crap, that's not going to work. I mean, that's just the things that happens at a track like Pocono. In a sense, it's almost like a Talladega with the way the drafting works and, you know, the way, you know, you have to work together sometimes. Not gonna definitely compare Pocono necessarily to Talladega or a track like Daytona because it's so different in every aspect. But you know, it's got a very heavy draft, man, and you have to work together. And you see a lot of these drivers getting big runs off of corners, and you'll see that. That's just typical Pocono. He faked them out, they faked him out, and then they refaked him out and said, hey, we're going to get tires, leave you out there, knucklehead.
Yeah, it's David Salter doing the fake out there, and then getting faked out by James Morgan and Bradley Wilson. So Bradley Wilson, Lance Hill, James Morgan all coming down pit lane. I would actually tell you David Salter, Jimmy Green, Colin Forster, Logan Rhodes, Austin Rhodes, Ed DeBauer, and Chad Hitchcock, all the drivers that stayed out. So I just figured I would tell you the ones that didn't come down pit lane. Whoa, as you see Bradley Wilson missing his pit lane there.
I might give Dan Gallant some track position here. Let's see if David Salter is going to still get out first. There comes the 83 machine of
Austin Gee.
See, yeah, Austin Gee. Does he get out first? He got out first, yeah.
Yeah,
Austin Gee going to make up some good track position there.
Yeah, it looks like James Morgan going to get out as well, but Robbie Bice going to beat him out. So Robbie Bice still in this game.
So I just got word on driver chat. Josh Carver said his power went out. So, unfortunate for Carver. He's back in the session right now, but, man, that's just unfortunate.
Yeah, you come back after a long computer, you know, he had a couple of issues with his computer and wasn't able to race, and finally got his computer going again, and then his power goes out. So it's unfortunate there for that 3 machine. But you know, I'm gonna say that's the NASCAR gods trying to tell you to stop driving a Ford Mustang with Dale Earnhardt's skin on it.
Yeah, that's Daryl Earnhardt himself telling you to stop driving it. Carver, buy the Chevy, or I'm gonna gift you the iRacing money to do it. Your whole team runs the Chevy almost. Anyways, that's what's crazy to me. You're the only Ford guy. I know he says he does it for a meme, but I feel like Carver realistically bought the Mustang because he liked it, and then was just like, I'm gonna put a Earnhardt skin on it. You know? Nah, just kidding. We love Carver, man, and it's good to see him back. It stinks that he has the power issues, and why looked like he was running such a good race. You know, it's so hard sometimes to get right back into it and get comfortable back in the sim rig, and looked like he did it right away. And unfortunate for Carver, man, he's gonna be several laps down here, but you know, anything can happen. A bunch of cautions can happen. Some drivers getting taken out. We'll see. We'll see if Josh Carver, you know, can somehow get a little bit of that 2.5 mile oval magic and get his way back up there on the lead lap somehow, some way. You know, when we go down this back straightaway here, the long pond back straightaway, all I can think about is Casey Kane going up into the trees. And why I think, man, they shouldn't have added a catch fence at Pocono, because that should be the catch fence, the trees. I think it makes it more fun. I'm just kidding. I know driver safety definitely probably likes not going out in. The drivers for sure definitely don't like, you know, probably thinking, hey, I'm going to go into the trees like Casey. So imagine if they didn't have catch fences here in turn 2. Pretty sure back in the old days of Pocono. So there's got to be some guy that's went out into one of those houses.
Well, I mean, you know, they say they don't put catch fences up for no reason.
Yeah, at some point there was, you know, I understand at one point catch fences were mandated at every track, but just think, there always was that one guy that went flying over one too many times as they were like, yeah, we got to add something here to keep this dude in the track. Yeah, so just got word Carver 7 laps down, so it's manageable. Probably not in grass for that 3 machine, but you know, like we were saying earlier, anything can happen, and it's just good to see that 3 machine back in a full throttle cup race.
Whoa!
James Morgan.
Caught.
Oh.
Kind of talk me through what's going on again.
Do apologize. Something's going crazy with my timing right now. We'll go back to that. As you see, getting the start off, Austin G just getting, excuse me, the 43 of James Morgan just getting really loose there. See a little bit of checkup there from that inside lane. See if we can hear a wheel spin or anything.
Money shift?
We'll go inside the car to.
I mean, yes, the cars are sequential shifters. In real life, that would be almost nearly impossible for a driver to do that. But some of us are still running 5 speeds. But I don't know. You can't run those on iRacing. So
you
no.
Can't, no.
Yeah, you have to use paddle shifters and actual sequential, don't you? No, he money shifted.
Money shifted. Yeah, I see it shift gears back down into first gear. So a money shift there from the 43 of James Morgan. So
I think that's one of the first next-gen money shifts I've seen.
Yeah, so you see it here. The first money shift I've ever seen. And like Josh said, the first one he's ever seen. So it's kind of crazy. You don't normally see money shifts in a sequential system like that. So maybe just hit it. He went to pull the wheel down a little bit. Maybe he hit it as he was getting ready. I'm not really sure there. David Salter going to go ahead and pull down pit lane. Going to go ahead and take advantage of this caution. That's going to give the lead to the 23 of Jimmy Green. It's something we normally talk about. That 23 of Jimmy Green normally gets up here in the front, but you know, he's always has what we call the mess come to him. So see if Jimmy Green has any better luck this time around. Still not going to let him forget about Talladega though. But as we were seeing, you saw Stan Mayberry getting through that. You know, this is one of the drivers that I keep my eyes on now. Every race, even whenever I'm racing against him, it's one of those drivers that I have to keep my eyes on because Stan, he's starting to show some really good speed here in these next gen cars. Even in the Xfinity cars, the trucks, he's starting to scare me. You know, not just because he's my teammate, but because he's also starting to get into a really good groove here.
Yeah, Stan these past couple of weeks has looked very strong in the next gen series, and so James just admitted he said he did money shift on accident. He said I hit it up, and he said obviously up in a sequential is downshift, and I just wasn't thinking. He said he was just driving it like it was an H pattern and went to throw it up into third and popped the sequential up and it popped it back into first and just wasn't thinking. So unfortunate, man. That just shows you. What if that happens next year in real life? Like, so, because isn't it you pop it back for upshift, pop it up for downshift? So think of that. When they pop it down into second, they're going to get ready to go into third. How many guys do you think are going to throw it back up into first, try to throw it to third?
Yeah, so it's like here at lap 25, we've already started getting a really good race. Austin Rhodes moving himself up 15 spots. So like we were saying, he is currently streaming on Twitch right now. His Twitch name is Open Road, so twitch.tv/Open Road. You can go check him out and watch his stream, watch it from his point of view. Ryan Sword is normally the driver in that Team Sparkle Unicorn car, but like we said, we heard he had something happen in his family, and he wasn't able to race tonight. So Austin said that he would take over that spot. So Austin Rhodes currently sitting with that in-car camera. Caution lights are out here at lap 26 of 80. We're going to see these boys go back to the green flag coming around this time. So it's going to be interesting to see how these boys play it out now. You know, we've had a couple of wrecks. We've had a couple of drivers, fall out. We saw James Morgan get into Austin G there, and it looks like Austin G's actually on his way back out. So good for that 83 machine getting himself back out on the track. I always say that's one telltale of a good driver. Even if you get wrecked, even if you have something happen, still get out on the track, turn laps. It's always a good thing to see. All right, the pace car is getting ready to pull down. You see the 44 there. Down to the bottom of the track. Green flag is out. Jimmy Green getting off to a good jump, but the 9, Colin Forster, also getting off to a good jump. You're going to see that outside lane maybe starting to form up. You see the 12 of, whoa. See somebody getting really loose back there.
Chad Hitchcock.
Bottom lane.
He's up 20 positions now.
Yeah, Chad Hitchcock in that, whoa, you see Logan Rhodes getting really loose coming out of that turn 1 there.
Yeah, look at that 12 Austin Rhodes on the back bumper of that 8 machine. Is that 82 machine at Ed DeBauer. He is trying to find his way up here to the front as well. Got a lot of drivers just mixing it out. You see Brian Chu sitting in 6th place. Brian Hubel, Clayton Kincart, 8th, 7th position. Chad Hitchcock, 9th. And then you got Dan Gallant round out your top 10, who is running as high as the 2nd here tonight. So William Brown going to come down pit road this time. Looks like Matthew Fitz as well.
So William Brown, Bryant Seaborn on his way out right now. It's good to see Bryant Seaborn and Daniel Ship on their way back out. Let's go back up on board. Colin Forrester looks like he's starting to get off to a really good lead from Jimmy Green. You got teammate Logan Rhodes right behind him. Then you got that Team Sparkle Unicorn number 12 of Austin Rhodes right behind him. And Ed DeBauer doing a really good job sitting up 4 positions right now in that 5th place spot. And like you were saying, Josh, Brian Chu up 14 spots, doing a really good job. Whoa, a little bit of tire smoke there. So it looks like maybe somebody got a little loose.
Sorry, I muted my mic thinking I was unmuted my mic. Yeah, it looks like we're starting to get into that section of the race where we're going to see some drivers maybe start making some green flag stops that didn't stop at the caution, or it looks like actually now everybody has covered their pit stops currently. So yeah, our next guys that are going to be pitting are, you know, your ones up in the lead to 5th position. So the guys pitted at lap 12, then you got drivers from that 6th position on back who pitted at lap, lap 20. And then you got drivers who pitted on lap 24, 27, and 26. So you've got a bunch of different little strategies here. Some guys going to be able to go a little bit longer on those fuel runs. So it's going to be interesting to see as we get later into this race here at lap 30 coming next time around. Whoa, Jimmy Green a little bit loose. He just smoked that right rear, but he's going to gather it back up. He was willing that thing through turn number 2, and that smeared off number 23 machine is Logan Rhodes. Scrappy, his teammate behind him, currently blocking off that 8 machines of Austin Rhodes, excuse me. As these boys going to wheel it out of turn 3. Come down and grab lap number 30 here. 50 laps to go.
Yeah, as we saw Dan Gallant getting a little loose. You see Brian Chu getting a really big bump there from the 19 of Brian Hubel. Going to take that inside of Clayton Kincart. Let's see if that Candyman can clear the 77. It doesn't look like he's going to get around the 77 right now. We're going to go back up here. Looks like Logan Rhodes all over the back bumper of that 23 machine of Jimmy Green. Let's see if Logan Rhodes is going to be able to get around Jimmy Green here anytime soon, or if Jimmy Green's going to be able to hold him off. We do see him getting a little bit of tire smoke going into the tunnel turn. That means he's getting really loose coming out of it. Whoa, as it looks like Logan Rhodes just all over the back bumper of that 23.
Man, he said, I'm trying to make it through. Whoa, look at that drive in. Ed DeBauer, he's going to go up into the 5th spot. That Bass Pro Shop's just hook, set, sinker. He just reeled him in. That 82 machine's rolling in that Bass Pro Shops 82 as he's got himself up where he started from in that 9th spot. But on those 12-lap old tires, he just blew past the boys on an 8-lap fresher tire difference. So Logan Rhodes, Ed DeBauer, he's definitely finding some pace right now here at lap number 31.
Yeah, as we see Stan Mayberry battling it out with that number 1 ally machine of Lance Hill. Saw a little bit of looseness going on back there. So maybe everybody just battling it out as we see that 3 of Josh Carver lap down. He's currently battling it out with everybody
Chris,
right now. Yes.
Where did Ed DeBauer get this speed, man? He just blew past the boys back there that we just watched. We were just focusing. That 77, and look at him. He's up here battling now with 5th through 1st. He's about to be going to Austin Rhodes right here, door. I mean, this Ed DeBauer machine here at lap 31 has just flipped the switch. Either he was conservative and hanging out, or he has just found a pace that no one else has. That 82 machine's rolling here, and that's what I like to see. It's what I love about these open setups, man. A little bit tight out of turn number 4, or turn number 4. What turn 4? Turn number 3. But he's going to gather up, get it down the front straight. Ed DeBauer's got himself up into 4th, man. Look at that car move through the field as he's about to take it to Logan Rhodes here in just a moment. And I got to say, Ed DeBauer might be the guy you need to be looking at right here for these next couple laps. As Clayton Kincart's going to now pull up to that back bumper of the 12. Whoa, 19 of Brian Hubel, big loose. And that number 19 Ford Mustang, as I say that though, 82, going to go too wide here with the 8 machine of Logan Rhodes. Scrappy, how scrappy will he get here as we go into the tunnel turn? As it looks like he is going to give up that spot. 82 going to go in. Austin Rhodes also going to get past that 8 machine of Logan Rhodes. And man, good race forming out here in this mid pack, Chris. Every one of these boys just coming back like boxers, giving blow after blow. They are going at it.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of battling going on up here in the front. You see Ed DeBauer getting around everybody, currently sitting in that 3rd place position. But right now, Austin Rhodes, Logan Rhodes, Clayton Kincart, they're all battling it out back here. We see the 1 of Lance Hill also pulling it up into the mix. So we're going to have a lot of battling going on back here for that 6th, 7th, 8th spot here before too long.
These boys in the back giving it no.
Whoa,
they say that, but 1 to 77, make a little bit of door bang. Netcode giveth, Netcode taketh, and there comes the 3. Sending it in there like Dale Earnhardt. He's going to get loose, and there goes Josh Carver. He's going to collect David Salter, unfortunate. Yeah, excuse me.
You know, as
Good,
it looks
Chris.
like Josh Carver just got in there a little too hot, got into the door of Clayton Kincart, and then you see him getting a little loose. You see Dan Gallant having to check up just a little bit. He's going to get down into that front corner panel. That's going to send the 88 of David Salter down into the three's quarter panel. Maybe David Salter didn't get too much damage unless he gets hit here.
I mean, he redoored the 3 with his right side door. I mean, the 3 of Josh Carver just getting out that aggression, man. I mean, he's been pent up, not been able to race these past couple weeks. I mean, there you go. That's what happens when you've just got a driver that's really pent up, really not been able to drive these past couple weeks, and wants to get out there and run. He's a couple laps down. He's still racing though, and unfortunately, he gets up there with the boys that are on the lead lap, and it looks like it all started by him. It looks like he's already loose to the corner right there, just washing up just a tad. And then as you see, he gets down, and if the 89 and the 88 just don't make that little bit of contact, I honestly think they drive past the 3, or it could have been a little bit worse for the 3 and the 88, and they could have went up the track and took out other drivers. I mean, it just all depends on the situation, but I mean, that just happens, man, and, you know, it's a format of racing sometimes. You get out there and you get wrecked by the leader of the race, or sometimes you get wrecked by the guy 7 laps down, 6 laps down, whoever it is. I mean, it just happens. That's racing, and I hate it, man. Hate it. You hate it for the lead lap guys. You know, you want to go out there, and some of them I know want to strangle that 3 car right now, but hey, I mean, and there it goes, the non taking the big fake. I thought he was going to take out the yellow barrels there, Chris. As we've seen it before, you know, that's a big thing at Pocono. Everybody will fake you out in last second cut. Man, I've seen like so many people get taken out on those barrels at Pocono, so that's a big old meme here. That's a strong tactic at Pocono, trust me.
Yeah, so it looks like Brian Hubel and Brian Chu all going to stay out. Austin Gee, Daniel Ship, Brian Seaborn also staying out. Austin Gee getting that lucky dog, so he's going to go around, get at least one of those laps back.
Just trace off pit road, Chris.
It looks like Ed DeBauer
going to get out first.
Yeah, Ed DeBauer going to win that race off of pit lane. Dan Gallant going to pull out behind him with Lance Hill following right behind him. Bradley Wilson, driver that we normally talk a lot about, missing a hood. At least on our view, he is missing a hood. So that is unfortunate for that 51 machine. That's going to put a damper on that arrow.
Looks like it has no damage realistically nowhere else, does it? Have a little bit of front left damage. Not sure. Now I'm interested because, you know, we've yeah, he's got some front end damage, so he could be missing that hood. Oh well. We'll find out one way or another, I'm sure.
Yeah, you see him falling back a little bit in the positions. Like right now, he's currently sitting in 8th. So Bradley Wilson must have a little bit of damage going on. So I do know that sometimes, even though it says that he has damage, I have called out damage to people, and they go, "Well, he's got a front bumper." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, on mine, you know, you don't have it." So sometimes it can be a graphical error. You know, we can be looking at it and say, "Oh, well, you're missing a bumper," but really they have them. So just could be on our side. But you know, if he does, then that's going to really hurt that 51 machine.
Oh yeah, well, the car won't overheat, so I guess that's good news.
Yeah, Carver knows all about that. Blowing his engine at New Hampshire. Look at that, the 88 of David Salter still up here in 4th place.
Well, he stayed out after that wreck.
I see
It's going to be fun on the restart for him. And those rear tires are chopped up pretty bad right now. I mean, granted, they're only 12 laps old, but he got around pretty mild. Unless he got some really good warm-up routines and got him shook off really good, there's going to be a little bit of buildup on that tire. It's going to be fun when he gets back to restart here. He's going to have to really wear that tire back in and get it back to maximum performance, or what is maximum performance. Once you really slot a tire out like that and get them flat spotted, whatever it is, I mean, it's really hard to get the tire to come back, recover, especially on the iRacing platform. You know, it's one of those things. You get those tires heated up, you get them just overcooked a little bit. It can be very hard to recover those tires and bring them back to full potential. So we'll have to see how David Salter is going to handle the current situation at hand, as he's going to have a bunch of hungry race car drivers behind him on about 10 lap fresher tires.
Speaking of hungry, you know, you can kind of put it like cooking some food. You know, once you cook a steak, you can't undercook it again. You know, it's either, you know, it's cooked. Once it's cooked, it's cooked. There's no going back. So it's kind of like with tires. Once you heat them up, you can't get them to cool back down. And you know, once you score them and you get them blistered a little bit, it's just it's hard to get them to you know, act like they did before you did that.
We're going to get back to green flag racing. Here's that 9 o'clock enforcer. Brian Hubel going to bring us back to green. We'll check through the field. Looks like everybody did get away safely and cleanly this time by. As we will. It's funny to say safely if you got a guy with no hood pushing another guy at like 100 plus miles an hour, but pretty safe to me, as we're going to get off into turn number 1 here. Looks like that 89 machine, Dan Gallant, going to be outside Lance Hill. You're going to see David Salter hanging up there in that middle lane, as he's just kind of hanging out in the middle groove. 82 Ed DeBauer now on those freshest tires in the highest position up. He is going to be rolling 2 wide here with that 88 of David Salter. Excuse me, 89 of Dan Gallant. So it looks like Dan Gallant did get a little bit of better run to that 82's back bumper, and he is going to clear Ed DeBauer. So Dan Gallant now the highest position on those fresh tires, as there goes Lance Hill and AJ Green.
Caution. Save your stuff, save a little fuel.
2 ally machines. It looks like they really didn't ally together on that one.
But back on board here.
That's going to be an awkward time at breakfast.
Yeah, as we were talking.
Oh, man, they were 3 wide in the tunnel. It looks like Lance Hill maybe got out of the groove a little bit. And the 48 just lives and die by the Ayrton Senna quote. And he's going for the gap that he sees.
It looks like maybe the one of Lance Hill maybe checked up a little bit, got into that turn just a little too hot. The 48 didn't realize it, got into that back bumper and sent him around.
Ooh. 48, big shot on that left side.
Go back and watch it from the hood view.
Dude, Daniel Ship just made me like, man, Robbie Bice asked him, man, how is your car still so clean, buddy? And he said, well, I got to thank God, my parents, and everyone else who supported me to keep me clean.
As we see
so random, but man.
Yeah, as we see the 48 machine getting pushed from the 1. As at lap 39, it looks like maybe that 48 machine has got a little too much damage, can't go anywhere. Well, Josh, you were saying they weren't really allies. Well, he made it up to him.
He's got to hold his hand back to pit lane. They're talking about it, and just heard him say AJ Green and talking about AJ Green and the one at Lance Hill. They were like, "Didn't you boys just wreck each other?" And Lance went, "No, we're racing fine." What do you mean? And AJ Green went, "Yeah, teammates." So yeah, definitely. Like I said, man, AJ's one of those guys that it seems like no matter what happens, he's just in a good mood with it. So I'm pretty sure it's hard to be mad at AJ Green for taking it 3 wide right there. I mean, he's an aggressive driver, and that's what happens when aggressive drivers do aggressive things. And AJ Green now being pushed back to pit lane by his teammate. Probably the worst tow service he's had of his life, but hey, whatever. Oh, never mind. He's going back around the track. under caution here at coming to lap number 40 here, as Colin Forster still out in the lead. Brian Chu currently sitting second, as Brian Hubel third. Dan Gallant in that fourth position. Ed Bauer in fifth. Ed Bauer going to be currently in that sixth spot. Chad Hitchcock in seventh. With, let's see, Clayton Kincart in eighth. Logan Rhodes ninth. Jimmy Green in 10th. Bradley Wilson 11th. Casey Collenbach 12th. Bryant Seaborn 13th with Stan Mayberry leaving pit road right now, currently sitting 14th. Austin Gee also leaving pit road in 15th. David Salter currently sitting 16th. Lance Hill 17th. Robbie Bice 18th. Daniel Schitt 19th. AJ Green 20th. Matthew Fitz 21st. Josh Carver 22nd. 23rd. William Brown, who is currently out. Josh Carver also out. James Morgan out. And Jonathan Coombs out, as they sit 23rd, 24th, and 25th. And that is going to be your field as they run here currently, as we hit the halfway point when we go back green.
As I just want to point out, Josh, look at who is on the outside lane in second place right now.
At you in that Rowdy 18 machine, Candyman.
Driver we don't get to talk about a lot up here in that second place position as the green flag's getting ready to come out.
Green.
As green, we're back to rolling. 9, 18, and the 19 all going to get off to a decent start. The 9 going to get the best start out of all of them. He does set the pace there on the restarts. As he's going to get out there and move it to the outside lane, as we're 3 wide coming down the French straightaway here into turn number 1, as we are halfway through this race at the Tricky Triangle 80 here. Full Throttle Next Gen racing 77.8. No, Logan Rhodes going to get into 12, but they're all going to gather it up. As it looks like the 12 of Austin Rhodes and the 77 of Clayton Kincart might have made some contact coming through one that got the 12 all out of sorts. And then you saw Scrappy get up to his back bumper, and looks like Scrappy did what every driver should do when a guy's getting loose in front of him, and that's check up, man. Never just run those guys over. They're not in that situation because they want to be. So you shouldn't put them in a worse situation, possibly yourself. Good job on that 8 machine.
Whoa.
And that 12 of getting it gathered back up.
Yeah, as we're riding on board here with that 18 machine of Brian Chu, you see the 19 of Brian Hubel getting really loose on that inside lane. So we see that 19 starting to really push the issue. Whoa, back there in the back, Austin Gee getting really loose. Looking like maybe...
Matthew Fitz said he was going to pull down the track, and at that exact moment, Austin Gee went to pass him. He said, I was trying to get out of your way, but it made it look like I was trying to block you. I'm so sorry. Because he was running up to his back bumper so fast, he was just going to let him go.
Well, I am sorry, Matthew. I did not mean to call you out in the stream like that. And then you hear him apologizing right after I say it.
It was so funny. He was like, dude, I'm so sorry. I wasn't trying to block you. I was just trying to let you by. So I guess it was just like instant like regret. He was like, oh crap. I just blocked him down to almost the wall for like a wet place.
Right now, currently, he is sitting in the 16th position. As right now, Brian Hubel's all over the back bumper there of Brian Chu.
Brian Chu's still doing a good job, man. He's got Chad Hitchcock running that 19 of Brian Hubel's door, but Chad Hitchcock just going to drive by. He's on those freshest tires out of the field right now. I say that, though, we do have drivers that pitted on lap 39, so I do apologize on that. A little bit of a bad call right there, but that 22 machine up 22 spots, and he's just got to get 2 more to get the lead. And on those fresher tires, he pitted at lap number 34. Brian Chu pitted at lap number 20. And your leader, Colin Forster, hasn't pitted since lap number 12. So that 22 machine right here. Whoa, big wreck down the back straightaway. And Dan Gallant.
Water, pressure, temperature right there.
Don't have a marker for it, so I'm going to have to rewind it. like the 89 probably thought, oh, I don't know. See if we can watch it from Jimmy Green's point of view. As it looks like maybe the 89 just started pulling down the track. Yeah, and you see the 89 just getting up into the quarter panel of.
I mean, Daniel Watt's taking full responsibility of it. I mean, he said that was just a failed attempt at a side draft. He thought he had a little bit more space, and that sucks, man, coming out of turn 2 right there. I've definitely been in a full throttle session on Pocono at turn 2. Has definitely been a spot that I definitely would like to forget. And so I know what it's like to have your weekend ruined there coming out of turn 2, and that's unfortunate for Ed, man. He had a really solid car. Looked like he was going to be one of those guys that's coming through the field really fast. I mean, he's still sitting in that 6th spot, but we'll just have to see if he's got any damage that's going to halt the pace of that race car later on as we get going back to green here in a moment. Oh, it's Colin Forster down pit road. Jimmy Green, Ed DeBauer, David Salter, Clayton Kincart, Bradley Wilson, Logan Rhodes, Stan Mayberry, Austin Rhodes, Casey Collenbeck, Austin Gee, and Dan Gallant. Dan Gallant's on his way out. But all those drivers are going to be making their way down pit road.
Yeah, somebody that I'm still looking out for is that 68 machine. He's just kind of hanging out back here in the back right now. So I'm waiting to see Stan make a pounce here. But right now he's got to battle it out with that 23 of Jimmy Green, who looks like he is on his way out right now. David Salter going to be behind him. And as I say that, Stan Mayberry going to pull out in that third spot off of pit lane. See Jimmy Green and that 88 of David Salter almost getting into each other. It's good to see Austin G back out here after having a little bit of an incident, getting his lap back. He's still battling it out, currently sitting in that 9th place position. And then Bradley Wilson sitting in 10th right now, missing that hood. So, you know, like we've said, Bradley Wilson, he's had worse wrecks than that and come back and won. So I'm not counting him out yet.
I think Jimmy Green just got a speeding penalty. Yep. Jimmy Green caught speeding on pit road. That 23 machine should fall to the back of the lead pack, right?
Yeah, he should fall back, or at least have to come down and do a stop and go, and then fall to the back of the line. Yeah, so it might just be an end-of-line penalty. I don't really know how iRacing handles black flags. I try not to procure them, so I don't really know how they handle it. But it looks like
pretty sure a speeding penalty puts you to the back of the lead line pack for the first time, right?
I think so. And then
the
I
second time, is it a pass through? The third time, it's a stop and go.
I want to say that's the way it is. Yeah. It's Brian Chu currently sitting out in the lead. Hasn't pit 26 laps, so he's going to be currently sitting on the oldest tires up here in the front. I'd tell you that Brian Hubel also pitted lap 20. So they've got the oldest tires out of everybody in the front. Bryce Seaborn pit at lap 26. Chad Hitchcock pit at lap 34. So right now your top 4 are currently sitting on older tires, and everybody behind them has pit at lap 44 and beyond. So it's gonna come down to the tire game. See how these guys handle these newer tires. We got a lot less cars in the field now.
Yeah, does Brian Chu still got something left in his tires, or is deep down inside he thinking, Bono, my tires are gone and needing a new set on that rowdy Toyota Camry? But man, we'll see what that 18 machine's got left for us on those older Goodyears, and see what he's just gonna do. I mean, it's just fun to see Brian Chu up here in that first place position, man. That rowdy machine just looks wicked good tonight, and it's good to see him up here in the lead, man. Just want to say a big shout out to the Facebook and the YouTube chat for joining us here tonight as we get ready to go back to green. Here's the pace car going to pull us through turn 3. As hopefully you guys are enjoying the Tricky Triangle 80 here, brought to you by Full Throttle Cup Series. As the next gen car is going to get ready to go back to green, Brian Chew, Rowdy Energy, going to get it wound up, and he's going to get going. And that's going to be a good restart from that 22-inch Chad Hitchcock, 19 of Brian Hubel as well. As you see that 14 of Bryant Seaboard, he's going to be sitting in that 4th spot. 88 of David Salter, 68 of Stan Mayberry. We already got 3 wad coming down the front straightaway. Bradley Wilson, that 9 machine of Colin Forster, going to be pushing their way 3 wide here into turn number 1. As you see Scrappy, David Salter, and co. all around there 3 wide again.
Looks like everybody's got it kind of, whoa, Chad Hitchcock getting below that yellow line. We know that's going to cause a little bit of an issue there, a little bit of a checkup from that 22, but he's going to keep in it. The 18 looking on the inside there. Excuse me, the 22 looking on the inside of the 18. Whoa, they're looking about going 3 wide here. The 19's getting really aggressive back here.
Yeah, these old tires are starting to get stacked up with these new tires. You're going to start seeing these boys really wind through here.
Don't really know what to say, getting all kinds of nervy. You see 22 and Chad Hitchcock.
Yeah, I was watching that coming into 1, man. It looked like 51 was about to cut the 22's nose off, but the 22 and the 51 decided to keep it clean, man. These boys are mixing it up right now. This is getting hairy, Chris. This looks like the initial start of the race, as that is a camera that you can just see. Look at all those drivers, man. Throw a blanket. That is just a gaggle of race cars. They are coming kamikaze style as they come out of turn number 2 into the tunnel to turn number 3, the Milwaukee Mile style turn that you have to really slow the race car down and get it set up for the front straightaway attack down into turn number 1. As you see that 22 of Chad Hitchcock to that outside of Colin Forster. As you see that 8 of Logan Rhodes outside of Bradley Wilson, David Salter, Brian Hubel, Brian Chew out in the lead, still here at lap number 49. These drivers, man, just trading positions. It is like almost like dancers with an art. They are just going back and back at each other, and it's just crazy to see how much room these drivers are leaving for each other. It's almost none. These drivers are doing an excellent job. As the 51 of Bradley Wilson. Yeah, 51 of Bradley Wilson. Look at him. He moved it up in the front of 9. And well, the 9 big shove. He's going to come to the inside. Here comes Logan Rhodes as well. 3 wide into the tunnel turn. This isn't going to last good. Yeah, I was going to say somebody's going to have to back out. And they did. Logan Rhodes getting aggressive right there. They don't call him Scrappy for nothing, Chris.
Yeah, Scrappy getting really scrappy with everybody right now. Logan Rhodes wanting to pinch that 3rd win, wanting to take home that turkey. So you see Logan Rhodes doing a really good job trying to hold these boys up. But going up front, David
22
Salter
just got.
Yeah, David Salter
out in the lead.
Salter out in the lead, getting around the 18. Bradley Wilson in tow. Like I said, you cannot count out the G unit. The G unit is always in the mix. Doesn't matter what kind of damage he has. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think he really has a hood missing. I think he's just got the Invisa-hood on, trying to fake everybody out. Whoa, you see Brian Hubel getting really loose back there, getting into the 9, almost getting into the 9 there of Colin Forster. We're going to go ahead and tuck in behind that 18. Colin Forster does not have the momentum down that straightaway, so he's going to go ahead and fall back in. But it looks like everybody's just starting to pull single file right now.
The wall. Loose, still loose. He's going to gather back up, as I was talking about that 22 a moment ago, Chris. Chad Hitchcock, he is starting to look good, man. Up 19 positions, that University of Kentucky machine. He is rolling up here into the top 10, currently sitting 6th, as he's up 19 positions on some of those fresh tires like the leaders, and he's starting to cut these boys up. You might be looking at Chad Hitchcock getting up there running for that top 5+ positions here in a moment. Is Logan Rhodes. He's got Ed DeBauer. He's got his other teammate behind him as well, Jimmy Green, as they're pushing into turn number 1 here. Got the Team Unicorn guys on the outside lane as he's going to roll it in. Logan Rhodes going to cut that 12 of Austin Rhodes off right here as they come down the back straightaway. Jimmy Green, Ed DeBauer going to link up here as Clayton Kincart kind of on an island of his own here at the back of the pack as he pulls up the back of the 68 of Stan Mayberry as he's starting to regain some momentum here, collect this lead PAX draft and get up here and work with these boys as it's 2 wide here in the tunnel turn, as it looks like a little bit of a diamond pattern there or whatever you want to call it. Oh, contact there from the 68 and the 77, or excuse me, the 22.
Yeah, you saw Stan Mayberry having to check
up.
Oh,
22 and 77 wrecking turn 3.
Caution. The fuck is the caution for? Correct.
Oh, the 12 of Austin Road's taking a big hit there.
This all started with the 22 and I can't remember who that
It
was.
was the
the back
68.
stretch.
It was Stan Mayberry. What happened was the 19 had actually. It looks like maybe he had gotten a little loose going up into the tunnel turn, and he had to check up. And then Stan Mayberry didn't have anywhere to go, so it looks like he might have just tried to cut to that inside lane, but the 22 was there, and then you saw it all come down from there. Oh, not back far
You meant the
enough.
77. It's right there. It's the 77, Chris.
No, I'm saying whenever coming in out of the tunnel turn, I didn't go back far enough.
Chris, that was the tunnel turn we were just in. No, it's not. I'm crazy. I forget now. I'm having crazy flashbacks that are wrong.
Yeah, you see the 19 going down to that middle lane. You see it go up. Stan Mayberry having to check up there. Probably thought he had that lower lane. Comes down into the 22.
Yeah.
22
And
gets
that's where it stemmed from, because the 22, I think, got a little bit aggressive right there. He's like, all right, making it back up. He drops it in hard to 3 right here, and then him and Clayton Kencart get big contact right here. You just see him really hard drive in.
You see the 82 there of Ed DeBauer getting into the mix. Scrappy getting into the mix of it. The 23, just a Rev Sports chain right there. You see the 12.
Green, boom.
Yeah,
Jimmy came in on a mission.
Yeah,
I mean,
you see the 22 of Chad Hitchcock getting into the side of the 82 there.
that's never what a team owner likes to see, is all of his race cars in one wreck, you know? I mean, that was just, like you said, a Rev Esports sandwich right there between those 3 boys. We got a lot of road cars down pit road, Chris, as it looks like from 4th position down to 17th, all down pit road right now. As Colin Forster missed his pit stall big time.
Yeah, so it's going to put a little bit of a, you see the 88 of, or 89 of Dan Gallant missing his pit lane
Fuel
as well.
only. Fuel only for some of these boys. Forster took fuel only. I'm assuming Salter Ship, Hubel and Company as well did as well, excuse me. Man, Daniel Ship, he was in that first caution of the race, was he not?
I want to say yes.
I know he's been towards the back of the pack all race, and I want to say he was involved in that first incident. And if my memory serves me correct, Daniel Ship, he's been on a drive here to get himself back up. Currently sitting in 6th. Is Hubel going to come back out in 7th after that pit stop? It's going to promote Bradley Wilson out to the lead. Stan Mayberry in 2nd. Austin Gee going to be sitting 3rd with Colin Forster 4th. David Salter going to round out your top 5. Is here at lap number 53 of 80. We are going to take a step away for just a moment and take you to an 811 dig commercial break.
When do you plan on putting in that new fence we've been talking about since last summer?
I guess I could start tomorrow.
Protect the ones you love and protect your buried utilities by contacting 811 before you dig, either by phone, the web, or the NC811 app. Know what's below before you dig. Visit nc811.org to learn more. If recent storms have caused damage to your property, contact 811 before you begin your cleanup. Buried utilities around uprooted trees can make a bad situation worse if those lines are not located before digging. Electric, natural gas, and internet lines are everywhere, and knowing where they are is the safest way to start any digging project. Call North Carolina 811 by dialing 811 or by using single address ticket on nc811.org or the NC811 app.
This tree is going to look great here.
Did you call 811 to protect your underground utilities?
I can't wait to see these roses come up.
Dig, dig, dig! Wait, we forgot to call 811.
Before you dig, make sure you can. Call 811 to know what's below. It's up to all of us to protect the ones we love.
As we are back from that NC 811 dig commercial break and getting ready to go back green here at the Tricky Triangle 80 as we are at lap number 54. We'll be at lap number 55 once we get here to the green flag. We'll get back rolling as Bradley Wilson, who we did confirm under that caution period right there in commercial break that he does indeed have no hood. So it's going to be interesting to see how he's going to do now out in the lead and not pushing a car out there to the lead. We'll see. Gets out to a good start, and we'll see how Bradley Wilson is going to do. Austin Gee, man, that McDonald's machine, I'm loving it because he's got himself up here to the front, man, after a rough start. You know, he was hanging out there towards the back of the pack. He was the driver that we pointed out just a handful of laps ago that was getting blocked by Matthew Fitz, quote unquote, almost to the apron, sitting in 16th position. He's got himself up here in third, so good job on that 83 machine.
Yeah, as we're riding on board here with Bradley Wilson, look up, caution is back out. Looks like it says Logan Rhodes. Oh, Scrappy is down into the wall. Oh, that is unfortunate.
Did you see the tire marks?
I did. I don't have a marker, so I'm going to have to do it guerrilla style. As you see back behind him, it looks like Dan Gallant gets into somebody. Oh. That's what it was. Dan Gallant got into him, sent Scrappy down into the inside wall. See the 82, I was saying Ed DeBauer had actually gotten up into somebody.
That if we were about a handful of feet down the straightaway and, just about a little bit more off the ground when he hit the inside wall, I feel like that's almost what Elliott Sadler's wreck looked like here back in 2010.
You want to know what the worst feeling is, though? I'm just going to point something out. Watch whenever he goes to, you see the wall. And look, watch as soon as he gets hit, you see that wheel go suddenly right. That right there is the worst feeling in the world.
Instantly blew the motor too. So yeah, he's done. Unfortunate for Logan Rhodes. Looks like he's not going to pick up that third win of the season here tonight.
As it's lap
56.
56, excuse me. My brain just stopped working on me for a second. Lap 56 of 80. We're sitting with a pretty good battle. Looks like we're about to have go on. We've got Colin Forrester. We see him battling it out, duking it up. Looks like he was about to push Stan Mayberry down the front stretches. It looks like the 51 is going to try to fake everybody out there, but nobody's going to fall for it. Bradley Wilson going to do the fake out, but nobody going to take the bait. Well, like we were saying, Stan Mayberry doing a really good job moving his way up into that. Whoa. You see the 51 probably playing a little bit of a game with...
Is Carver actually back on the lead lap?
Yeah. No, Carver is, I will tell you, switch to... Carver is 12 laps down. Got Dan Gallant, who is also a lap down. Austin Rhodes... Logan Rhodes is 2 laps down now, and Austin Rhodes is down 4.
We're at lap number 57. We'll be coming to lap number 58 this next time by. We should be going to the green. Our field's shrinking out a little bit here in the later runnings of this race, but it's just that's what can happen sometimes at a track like Pocono, man. Sometimes you get over ambitious with the big runs you get, the big old drafts, the big old suck ups to the rear bumpers. You want to take that slingshot run and run with it, and sometimes it can come back to bite you in the rear end. And we've seen it a handful of times here tonight, but that just happens. And hey, it's still been a blast up here. We've enjoyed some good racing up here in the lead, and we had all the drivers there after that last caution just kind of groaning on the radio, just like, oh, come on, let's just stay green, guys. Like, we want to race. So I think now you're going to see those drivers mentally not want to be that next caution, so they don't want to disappoint their fellow peers on the racetrack. So I feel like you're going to see some very hard racing, but you're also going to see, I think, a little bit more give and take here. These boys, I don't think, are going to be wanting to dump each other, but I'm not going to say that too much. We do have some aggressive drivers out on the racetrack. As we are getting stacked back up here, it is 1 to green. As the 68 of Stan Mayberry is to that outside lane here. As Stan the man, currently looking good, got himself in that mellow yellow machine. As he's sitting out there in that second place position. Doing a good job tonight in that Ford Mustang. It's going to be fun to see if these boys keep it going green here. Like I said just a second ago, you know, these drivers were complaining a second ago, like, come on guys, let's keep it green, let's go. We want to get this going, so expecting to see some good racing here, some clean racing, and hopefully we'll get a good green flag stint out of it and have some good battles for the lead here. We got a lot of tire differences up here in the lead, and it's going to be fun, especially Bradley Wilson with no hood. We'll see if the G unit can get it done.
Yeah, like I said, he's one of those drivers that you just can't count out of the mix. So Bradley Wilson just goes to show you that, you know, whenever you get wrecked or you ever have something happen, you know, don't hang your head on it. Get out there on the track, because, you know, look at Bradley Wilson. That's just a testament to you know the race isn't over. So you know, just stick it out. The 51 doing a really good job hanging out in the front. Like we said, Stan Mayberry looks like he's got the cleanest car. Colin Forster also looks like he's got a clean car behind him. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys handle it. See if Brian Chu actually took tires or anything, if he's going to have anything to give these boys. As you're going to see the pace car take that left-hand turn. Bradley Wilson's going to set the pace. Going to go ahead and get out to a good jump. The 83 also getting out to a good jump. 68 just a little back, but he's going to have that 9 tucked up closer. You're going to see him start pushing into turn number 1. That difference is that 83 has got a little bit of a gap between him and Bradley Wilson. So the 68 going to have a little bit more momentum, but it looks like they're just going to dive it down into turns number 1. Stan Mayberry doing a really good job holding off that second position, putting that pinch down on the 83. Going single file right now. You see that the 9 of Colin Forster going on the inside there of the 83. Stan Mayberry making a move on the inside, going into the tunnel turn. Let's see if he can make it stick.
Stan Mayberry going to promote himself to the lead as he's going to get a little wide out of turn number 2. And as I saw him getting loose back there, Brian Hibble making a move. But it's going to be Stan Mayberry to the lead. Colin Forster, he's on about 7-lap newer tires. We'll see if he's got anything for the 68 here in just a moment. But Stan Mayberry, he's going to lead a lap here tonight in the next-gen cars, and he's going to lead lap number 59, or is he? 9's going to come at him, but no, Stan Mayberry will lead that lap, but it looks like it's going to be taken from him fast. That 9 of Colin Forster going to go out there and take the lead. We'll see if Stan Mayberry can come back and fight with these guys.
I'm starting to wonder if that 51 machine's actually using cheat codes or something, because he is doing a really good job of hanging with these boys right now. You see the 19 of Brian Hubel and the 88 of David Salter. David Salter in a lot of incidents here earlier, still doing a really good job hanging out up here in the front. So, like we were saying, you know, never hang your head down if you get wrecked. You see Brian Hubel all over the back bumper there of, whoa, it looks like maybe the 51 got a little bit of a push going into the tunnel turn.
Big Stan's starting to shrink that gap a little bit. Colin's out 4/10 right now on him, but look at that, the 51, the 88, too wide is the 19, the 18 right behind them. As we go off into turn number 3 right here, coming down into the front straightaway. As David Salter is sitting currently in that 3rd position, that final podium step here at lap number 61 as we hit the stripe, and then you see Brian Hubel behind him. 51 also behind him as well. So Bradley Wilson's starting to fall off a little bit here. As you see that 19 of Brian Chu now trying to make his way around Bradley Wilson here in a moment. Woo! Close between Brian Hubel though right there, Bradley Wilson.
Yeah, you see a lot of battling going on here for that 4th, 5th, 6th place position. So Bradley Wilson having a little bit of an issue now. You see him starting to fall back a little bit. Brian Chu's going to be making that move on the inside here before too long. As I said, it looks like he's making it now. So maybe Brian Chu has a better momentum coming out of turn 2, going into turn 3. Looks like he might promote himself into that 4th position. It does look like he's cleared him right now, at least. So 51
Yeah, Brian Chu on those fresher tires, definitely going to have the drive out of those corners right there. So was expecting to see it, and it's happened. Brian Chu has promoted himself back up into 5th, man. Good run from this 18 here tonight. As you see that 88 of David Salter, Chris.
Whoa, teammates.
Involved in one accident earlier that was big. It looks like he's got a relatively clean race car right now. He's still some of the damage, but his crew's done a good job getting it fixed back up. And like you said, teammates, as David Salter going to pass. We know Salter's got the pace to get out here and lead. He was leading early, as it looks like that 68 of Stan Mayberry going to give him a little bit of a push here into the tunnel. You see that gap shrink up real quick to Colin Forster?
Yeah, you can definitely tell that whenever you have 2 cars working together in tandem, getting a really good push, you can get up there. Because look at this, David Salter closing the gap in on Colin Forster like it's just, you know, like it's easy. Let's see, you got the 19 of Brian Hubel on the back bumper there of Stan Mayberry, so they might be able to get a push going back up to David Salter. If those 3 can get together and link up, they can push their way up to the front. As you see, Bradley Wilson falling back a lot, trying to find somebody to pull him around, as he's going to pull in behind that 23 of Jimmy Green, excuse me. So Bradley Wilson starting to fall back. That damage starting to show you that it will slow you down. But look at that, the 68 onto the back bumper of the 88 now. So these teammates could get together and start working and pushing. Let's see how they handle this.
Looks like Salter on those fresher tires just might be a little bit quicker through the tunnel turn, because he leaves Stan on this part of the track, and then Hubel is having to get him back up there to that 88. And look at that into turn 3.
Drive in.
Yeah, Stan, big drive in. Here comes the 19 to the quarter panel. They'll be 2 wide, but look at that. Salter, Chris, right there, 2/10 away from that 9 machine of Colin Forster.
Yeah, David Salter doing a really good job, showing that he does know how to drive Pocono, doing his best Bradley Wilson impersonation. Hey man, I've been in wrecks, I can drive up here in the front too. So David Salter doing a really good job in that 88 811 dig car, showing that hey, you know, sponsors, look at me, I'm doing a good job.
Look at me, Dad. As David Salter doing an excellent job right now, man. Up 14 spots. That NC 811 dig car looking good. Driving good, and I bet you Salter right now feeling good, man. He's got the leader right there. As
Brian Hubel into the door.
Yeah, 68 of Stan Mayberry going to make contact, but we've got to caution out behind them, and that's the 83 of Austin Gee. We'll have to see what happened here.
Maybe the 77 thought the 83 was going to stay up at the top, and it looks like the 83 is going to come down into that front corner panel of the 77, going to go off of that front quarter panel, but you're going to see he's going to get a really big hit into the wall there. The 44 Daniel Ship getting around that, so the 83 just not having a good night tonight.
Man, hi, Chris. I'm telling you, next week's race is going to be good, buddy.
How do you figure that?
Well, because the 83 just came over the radio after that wreck with the 77 Clayton Kincart right here, actually, in turn 2, and just said, Robbie, I've never caused any drama in the league. How mad would you be if I was to do something stupid right now? And Robbie came over and said, how stupid are we talking? And Austin just said, Matt, you know what? Not worth it. So just be ready for next week. We can see some spiciness from some drivers.
We'll have some takers down pit lane. The 23 of Jimmy Green, Bradley Wilson, Brian Chu, Bryant Seaborn all coming down pit lane. You see the 18 having to check up a lot there, almost getting into the back bumper of Bradley Wilson. See if he's going to be able to make his pit lane. It always seems like when you're watching somebody, that's when they miss it. Jimmy Green getting slowed down. The 51 getting slowed down. 77 to Clayton Kenkar getting slowed down. See a lot of jacks going up, a lot of tires going on. So maybe throwing out that, hey, we got that last caution 15 laps to go. Let's just go ahead and throw that last set of tires on and get at it. As you see, the 18 gonna probably beat Jimmy Green out. Nope, Jimmy Green gonna win that race out of pit lane. So Bradley Wilson coming out in 6th, Jimmy Green in 7th, Brian Chu in 8th, Bryant Seaborn in 9th, and Ed DeBauer rounding out your top 10.
All right, well, here at lap number 66 under caution, as it's Colin Forrester out in the lead. David Salter and him, we were getting set up for a good battle between those two, but the caution did unfortunately pop out after contact with the 77 and the 83. But right now, it's looking like we're going to have that pit strategy difference again. Some of these guys are going to be on that fresher tires. The other guys going to be on those older tires, so really going to get to see that tire difference, see the battle start to form out here. And, it's one of those tracks here at Pocono that, you can hang out in there in the lead on, some, a little bit tire gap difference, but once it starts getting too much, it's pretty bad.
Pace lights are out. Got 14 laps to go. Like we said, let's see if these guys that came down pit lane was holding that last set of tires and seeing if they were going to have them for this end. So it's going to be interesting to see how the 6th place and back does this. Or if these boys up here in the front, Colin Forster, David Salter, Brian Hubel, Stan Mayberry, if they can all hold them off.
You think we're going to see a first-time winner here tonight, Chris, or think we're going to get a repeat winner?
I don't know. Right now, the way it's mixing up.
Yeah, I was about to say the way it's looking, it looks like we're on set for a first-time winner this season.
Yeah, what I'm going to be watching right now is that inside lane about 2 cars back. Robbie Bice sitting on that inside lane, no front bumper, no rear deck lid, no bumpers on that car. Going to see how he gets started off and see how bad that inside lane gets stacked up. But right now, I mean, I'm looking at 4 drivers up in the front that have a mission right now.
Green.
Back to green flag racing here as that 9 going to get off to a good start. 19 as well. Here at this is the 9th race of our season so far, getting closer and closer to being over. As rolling here at lap number 68, it's going to be Colin Forster in that first spot. And man, 19 loose. Saved it. Still loose. Bad camera choice. We're back.
Sorry about that. See the 19 of Brian Hubel getting really loose there coming out of turn 3, so he's going to fall back. That's going to open up the door for the rest of the guys. Stan Mayberry kind of on his own right now. He's got the 14. Bryant Seaborn behind him with Bradley Wilson on his inside. But right now, David Salter and Colin Forster, they're just up here by themselves. Let's see if that 68 can get up here and start helping the 88 push up to that 9 machine.
It's just one of those things. No!
Getting ready to have a caution's out. Caution's out. How are you doing there, bud?
Big wreck here, big wreck down the front stretch. We saw Jimmy Green going around. Brian Hubel also going around. We'll go back and see what happened here. It looks like Jimmy Green might have had to check up.
19 just came with a big run and knocked the snot out of him. It got his car all out of sorts. It's a big run. You can see he's carrying his momentum. It's just the 19 has such a big run. When he knocks him, it just knocks him out of sorts.
Yeah, you see the 19 bumping into the 23. That's going to send him into the 23, into his teammate, Ed DeBauer. You see the 44 there getting into the back bumper of Jimmy Green. Jimmy Green going down to that inside lane.
Casey Collenbach getting through it. You got the 77 right there. Big damage on Ken Cart. You see Dan Gallant, Chad Hitchcock, Austin Rhodes. I mean, that's just unfortunate for Jimmy.
Go back on board here with Daniel Shipp. Going to watch it from his point of view.
All right, back under caution here with about 9 to go when we get around the track next time, guys. So we're getting to those closing stages, man. As we're going to be crowning a champion. I didn't mean to say that. Excuse me. As we're going to be crowning a first-time winner maybe here tonight at Pocono. It's going to be fun to see who's going to pick up the win, man. It's just been a all-around good race. I mean, granted, we've had the typical cautions, and like they say, caution breed cautions, and hey, stuff like that just happens. So. Chris, as we get here into these closing stages of the race, man, we've got a lot of drivers that, usually we don't see up here in the front necessarily at the end of a race, maybe closing up here to win. Granted, Stan Mayberry is, second in the playoff points currently as we go into this race. A lot of these drivers haven't picked up that maiden win or, that maiden victory. Well, who are you expecting to get here to victory lane tonight as we're coming down to under 10 to go here?
Well, I'm looking. Sorry about that. I'm looking right now. I mean, it's going to be a hard choice. Colin Forster, he's really solid, really good out in the front. It's just going to all come down to if he can hang out in the front and not let anybody past him. But honestly, if I had to give my honest opinion about anything right now, I would say Stan Mayberry is looking really good right now. And if he can set himself up into a good position, he can get, a slingshot off the 88 or get a really good jump on this restart. I'm looking at him.
It's another driver that's looking strong as well, Brian Chu, man. I mean, he's sitting still in the top 5. I think 5th or 6th right now. He's sitting 6th right now, excuse me. But, he's doing a good job, man. That Rowdy Energy 18 machine is kind of hanging out up here. And he's been up in the front early today. And we'll see if he can get his way back up there. It'd be awesome to see, Brian Chu. I think we've had, what? I think we've had what, like, well, yeah, one or two interviews with him. I think he got. Yeah, I know he got a podium last season. I can't remember exactly what track it was, but just be good to see that 18 machine. But like you said, Chris, Stan Mayberry, man, and this is only coming from a spectator and watching and racing with him. That man has improved so much since the first race I raced with him in trucks to now watching him over this season in the next gen. Stan, it might be one of the most improved drivers on the grid, and he's looking like he might be the next first time winner here in the Full Throttle series soon. And don't want to speak any bad juju on him, but him and David Salter, Bryant Seaborn as well, Chris. That 14 still looking to pick up his first win since his dominating start of the season last year. And man, this is going to be a fun finish right here.
Yeah, it's
got all the makings for the greatness.
It's all going to come down to who gets the better jump, who gets the better runs. It's just all going to come down to who's puts himself in the better place.
As the pace car is going to go off, that 9 going to get a good restart. 88 of David Salter. He is also going to get a decent little restart, but that 68, that 14 right there to the inside and the back bumper of that 88, as it looks like Stan should get the run, but I don't think the 51 is going to get up to him completely. So yeah, that 88 is actually going to be clear of the 68. Third place right now, Stan Mayberry. He's got David Salter out in front of him, who's chasing down that 9 machine currently. Bradley Wilson, no hood. He's still hanging out as down the back straightaway these cars come storming past. You see the sheer speed of these race cars as they go flying by here, just getting them into the full speed and potential that these cars do have. We were only going about 160 there, but it takes about a lap or two to get them wound up. These cars should be running about 180, closer to 190 in the draft. So good little package we got with the next gen cars all around, and I think they raced fairly good. As the 88 of David Salter looking really good right now, man.
Yeah, David Salter doing a good job tucking up to that 9 car of Colin Forrester. So looking like the Wolfpack guys, they got their setups figured out right now, because like we were saying, Stan Mayberry also sitting up in that 3rd spot. David gave Stan a new steering wheel and some pedals, and that's really what opened up Stan's world. We were talking about that the other day, telling him, hey man, what's the difference between that wheel? He always like, oh, it's night and day. It's a night and day difference. He's got inverted pedals now. He's got a nice setup. So, that's what that's Stan's cheat code right now. Whoa, as look back here, you see Bryant Seaborn getting a Brian Chew getting a run up to the back of Bryant Seaborn. Looks like he's going to tuck it up, though. The 14 going to be all over the quarter panel of that 51, trying to side draft just to pull him back enough. And then somebody that we haven't got to talk about a lot, the 84 Casey Collenbach, he's actually moved himself up into that 6th place position. So he's going to be battling it out here with them in just a second. But it looks like the 88 of David Salter falling back just a little bit on that 9. But if Stan Mayberry can tuck up to that back bumper of the 88 of David Salter, they could get a run up here to that 9 machine.
As single file at the moment, your leaders separated by about 5/10, first and second, and then Stan Mayberry, you see he's about a second back right here in this 3rd position, as he is now under attack to that 51 of Bradley Wilson, that 84 Casey Collenbach. They have now pulled up as Bradley Wilson is on fresh tires. I did hear him say he used his last set of tires 10 laps ago. So no hood, but he does have that fresh tire advantage. We'll see if he's able to stick this pass on that 68 Stan Mayberry. And he is, but look at the 84 Casey Collenbach, Chris. He ain't taking it lightly. He's going 3 wide.
Yeah, 3 wide down the front stretch.
With 5 to go.
Whoa.
He's going to clear the 51 as well. Big pass there for the 84.
Yeah, the 51 riding up just a little bit. Stan having to get out of the gas. He's going to tuck down to the 14. Try to maybe side draft, slow him up just a little bit, but the 18's going to push. Going to go with the outside car. It looks like Stan's just starting to fall back a little bit now. Maybe those tires are starting to show their ugly heads for him. Right now, Casey Collenbach's moved himself up into that 3rd place position. Yeah, Stan falling back to that 5th place. He's got Casey Collenbach's got Bradley Wilson all over that back bumper. But right now, David Salter still trying to keep that 9 in his windshield. Looks like he's doing a good job hanging on. He's only got 4/10 a second on him. So maybe that 88 machine can catch back up here and get that lead away from him. But right now, Colin Forster doing a really good job pulling out. into the pulling out the lead and still sticking 4 tenths a second out in front of him.
Slow starting. David Salter has actually gotten into the into that draft window maybe, so he could start sucking up to that that 9 machine here in a moment. As you go back, you see that 14th of Bryant Seaborn, that 68 of Stan Mayberry, the 77 of Clayton Kencart. As they dive it off into turn number 2 here. So staying under attack once again for that 5th place position. Casey Collenbach currently sitting in 3rd. He's got Bradley Wilson 2 tenths back, but doing a good job. He made that awesome 3-wide pass coming down the front straightaway to put himself up on that podium step at the moment. Coming to 3 laps to go this time by, though. David Salter, 3 tenths, excuse me, off of that 9 machine. So we'll see if he's able to get up here and maybe work for this lead here. 3 laps to go.
David Salter diving it down into turn number 2. He's still got 4 tenths of a second on Colin Forster, so he hasn't made up any ground. He's starting to slowly lose a little bit, but Casey Collenbach starting to make up a lot of positions on that 88 of David Salter. So David Salter might be under attack here in the next lap or 2, but he's only got 2 more laps to do it. So let's see if Colin Forster can hold off that lead at least for 2 more laps here. Is David Salter still
starting to get a run?
Yeah,
he's starting to get a little bit of a run.
He's got that
2
push.
tenths now.
He's got that push from the
Casey Collenbach and Colin Forster, so he's starting to get in the middle of that draft bubble, Chris. They're racing back to the white flag. This time, and the 9's loose. 9 loose out of 1. That should open up. 1/10. Here he comes. Here comes David Salter down the back straightaway, Long Pond straightaway. Is he going to stick it into the tunnel turn? No, he's going to back it off. Casey Collenbach. We've got a 3-car race for the lead to the white flag.
Yeah, let's see if they can keep it clean coming to this white flag. We do know if the 9, whoa, the 84 getting down into the quarter panel of the 88. Oh, David Salter getting a quarter panel.
No.
David Salter getting the quarter panel of the, or the 84 getting the quarter panel of Casey Collenbach. Casey Collenbach getting the quarter panel of the 88 of David Salter. I can't talk. Sending him around going to turn 3. So now it's going to be a battle. Let's see if that 84 can catch up. Looks like he's washing up into the wall.
Going into the tunnel turn here. As you see Colin Forster 4 tenths out in front of Casey Collenbach. As down the turn, the tunnel, into the chute into turn number 3. 2 tenths off. Big drive in from the 84. But it looks like he's not going to get there. Out of turn number 3, here comes number 9. Colin Forster going to pick up his 2nd win here of the 811 Call Before You Dig Cup Series. He is going to pick up his 2nd win of the season. Colin Forster, the 9 machine. That Suffocate fuel, just too dang cool.
You see Colin Forster trying to do his best Tokyo Drift impersonation. Like Josh said, taking home his 2nd win of the season, so he's going to pull it to the line here and going to burn it down.
Wilson picked up a 3rd place, man. I know. Did you see Bradley parked into the cones at the end of pit lane? But man, burn it down. Not a Colin Forster going to pick up his second win of the season here. That should give him some big points and boost him up as he's currently sitting 11th rolling into this race. But man, good job from Bradley Wilson here as he picked up third with that damaged race car, and a good job from Casey Collenbach, man. He got a little bit of a controversy there coming into the white flag. I mean, but that does happen. It is racing, and I look at it as a neutral target, calling the racing, and hey, I was just racing, man, and you hate to see it, but Casey Collenbach still picking up a well-deserved second place, man. He had a good run there at the end, and still excited to talk to that 84 machine, that 51 machine, because those boys just put on one heck of a show to get the result they did. And the 9 machine, he just was very dominant today, and so it looks like it's going to be a good race going into next week. All right, as we've got our post-race results up here, it's going to be Colin Forster, who's currently putting the burnout into the front stretch wall. He is going to pick up that win here tonight. Casey Collenbach up 16 positions. He is going to pick up that second place spot. Bradley Wilson going to finish in third. David Salter going to finish fourth. With Stan Mayberry finishing fifth. Clayton Kencart sixth with Brian Hughes seventh. Daniel Ship eighth. Jimmy Green ninth. Bryant Seaborn 10th. Dan Gallant 11th. Chad Hitchcock 12th with Robbie Bice 13th. Austin Rhodes 14th. Austin Gee 15th. Ed Bauer 16th with Brian Hubel 17th. Josh Carver 18th with Logan Rhodes 19th. Lance Hill 20th with AJ Green 21st. Matthew Fitz 22nd with William Brown 23rd. And James Morgan 24th with Jonathan Coombs rounding out your field here tonight in that 25th position. So that is going to round out your field here tonight. Well, it looks like we've got our drivers all in and ready for their post-race interviews, Chris. I fixed that last week. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and bring up Bradley Wilson and have a word with that 51 machine. Bradley Wilson, this is Chris and Josh up in the Full Throttle booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, you were missing no hood basically that whole race. And at first we thought maybe it was just like, a graphical error or something on our end. But, come to find out you were just actually out there digging with no hood, man. So, definitely not worrying about overheating problems. But you've still lit the track up, man. You did a good job, really clawing that car back to third place there. And that end run, we did see a little bit of contact. That did open you up for that third place position, but still, Bradley, an awesome run from you here tonight, man, and picking up that third place here, and all the adversity we went through the race and you were involved with. I feel like it's got to be almost feel like a win kind of here at Pocono, picking up that third place. But take us through the race, how you feel after going 80 laps here at Pocono.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a personal win. Just definitely wish we could have done a lot better than what we did. That early wreck where my teammate missed a shift, put it in the wall, and then everyone kind of backed up. And sadly, I hit Robbie there and lost my hood. Thought I could have got one back, but just never did. And we kept fighting our way back up there. And then the leaders got into a little tussle up there. So kind of lucky and unlucky, because I hate to see it for David, but just glad that we were able to bring home a P3.
Yeah, man, y'all did a good job at the 51 camp today to recover from early incidents in the race, and just overall on you did an excellent job, man. It was just fun to watch you wheel that race car out there. Got up there and even led some dang laps in that thing, man. And I feel like even without no nose, you had that 51 machine tonight behind you. You were going to get pushed, if not up there close to the lead, into the lead. So it was fun to watch you, Bradley, put on that show, and always fun to have a word with you up here in the booth. But before we let you go here tonight, buddy, if you've got any final words or anything to final words, thoughts, or shout outs before we let you go, you can go ahead and throw them out there.
Big shout out to my sponsors, Shenandoah Shine, Martin Sports 906, Elite Performance Industries. They put together this great setup, but if we didn't have damage, I feel like it might have won against Colin up there, but it would have been close. My teammates Dan Gallant, Joshua Abbey sadly wasn't here tonight. I think he had something come up. Colton Kincart, Clayton Kincart, Lee Morgan, just great group of guys around you. You're definitely going to do well with them. My dad for keeping me racing for the 18 years I've been alive. I've always been racing. My friends, my family watching GTR simulators. You guys for broadcasting, and 811 Dig for sponsoring the league.
Yeah, Bradley, it's awesome. Always a pleasure to get have a word with you here after a race, man. And again, good to see you up here on the podium, and that's going to help that regular season championship as we keep going and going here into the races at week 9. But excited to see you back out on the track next week, man, and hopefully have a good rest of your week. And congrats on the P3 here tonight.
Thank you. You guys too.
All right. Good night, Brad.
Too.
All right, and that was Bradley Wilson, your third place finisher. Going to go ahead and have a word with Casey Collenbach, that 84 machine. See what he's got to say about that second place finish. Casey Collenbach, this is Chris and Josh up in the Full Throttle booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, man. Y'all got me?
Yes, sir. Can hear you loud and clear. Well, hey, man, you just you ran a good race out there tonight. You early on, it seemed like you got up into a little bit of that scruffle up in the mix, or whether or not you were just back there hanging out, waiting for all that mess. But other than that, man, here at the last 10, 20 laps, it seemed like we really weren't seeing you. And then all of a sudden, that 84 machine just showed up out of nowhere, whether it was the setup coming to life or, you just getting ready to go out there and get this thing done. But, Casey, you looked really good there at the end. A little bit of contact with Salter there coming through turn 3. Bygones are bygones, racing's racing, You can walk us through that if you want to. But that's just, seemed like how it was. You got a little bit of contact with him, but still made up the car, got it up into second position, and ran one hell of a race out of it, Casey. You looked good out there, and walk us through the finish and how you feel coming home second place here tonight at Pocono.
Yeah, it was the plan all day, just to kind of ride in the back and be safe, because I don't know, I saw a couple guys struggling during practice, and a couple of those wrecks I got real close to, got around. The old KSDT Air Spanky Chevrolet was running real good. I learned all day. And then right there at the end, cars were falling out. I was like, well, it's time to go. So I just made a run. And yeah, right there with the 88 car, I mean, I don't know. It could be some people saying he chopped me. Some people say I drove in too hard, but I probably was a little aggressive, just trying to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I heard you over driver chat saying, man, it was the end of the race. I mean, I just got to go. And, like you said, you can look at it both ways of the spectrum, but hey, at the end of the day, you still picked up second place, and you did one hell of a job doing it, man. And it was fun to watch you and the 84 camp get out there and get it done. And I want to say this is the first time this season we've got to talk to you up here in the podium position. So, it's good to have a word with you finally in that 84 machine, and finally good to see you get a good little run out here, pick up that second place here tonight at Pocono. But Casey, if you got any final words, final thoughts, shout outs, or anything tonight before we let you go, buddy, you can go ahead and throw them out there.
No shout outs, nothing. I already did my sponsor plug. I mean, it's real fun racing with these guys, and I finally just had everything fall together for one race, and just appreciate the opportunity to run in this league.
Yeah, man. Well, we appreciate the opportunity to have a word with you tonight here, man, and hopefully we have have this same conversation going into next week. Maybe Victory Lane. We know once you get that momentum rolling, it can kind of get the ball rolling. So we'll see how that 84 camp's rolling next week, and we're excited, man. And thank you again for having a word with us here tonight. Excuse me. Congrats on that P2 finish.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Excited for more.
All right. Well, we'll be seeing you next week, buddy, and enjoy the rest of your week, man.
10-4, y'all too.
My Discord wasn't letting me move. There we go. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and bring up your winner, that 9 of Colin Forrester, and have a word with him. Colin Forrester, this is Chris and Josh up in the Full Throttle booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Heck yeah, man. Well, that 9 machine, that Seneca Chevy Camaro, just went to Victory Lane for the second time this season here at Pocono. And, man, you looked pretty dominant doing it, got to say. We had a couple lead swaps here today and had overall some decent battles when we did get our green flag runs. Granted, we did have a little bit of adversity today, but, cautions breed cautions, it seems like, at a track like Pocono. But, Colin, just take us through, man. That setup seemed like you had it rolling tonight. You had a good car out there tonight, and it seemed like once you got out in the lead, clean air, nobody could really catch that non-machine. We know you got mixed up in some traffic, had some battles and everything. Take us through all the hecticness and everything, and how did it really feel getting out there up in the clean air, and how much do you benefit up in the clean air at a track like Pocono?
The clean air was definitely pretty key. It was pretty. The setup was just a little bit too loose on the long run. You probably seen me with 2 to go, I think, get super loose in one.
Oh yeah.
I thought I blew it right there, but luckily David didn't try to go to my inside. He just kept pushing me, which going back on it, he probably wishes he would have tried to go to my inside. But yeah, the setup was definitely just a skosh too loose, but not too loose to where it was not good enough. But luckily, just got the win. Happy to get the second win of the season. Just trying to catch up with Bradley. He's definitely had a good run this season. He even with the damage, he still got third, it seems. So he's definitely fast, and I expect him to be the toughest competition every week.
Heck yeah, man. Well, you're starting to etch your name up there as one of those guys that are really tough competitor, Colin. I mean, every week it seems like that non machine moving forward. And this week, you guys just hit again like you did on your first win of the season. You were very dominant. Now this win here at Pocono, it just seemed like you guys hit again. You know, you said the car might have been an itch too loose, but overall, you just showed that raw driver skill, man. It was fun to watch you out there. Yeah, we did see that looseness out of one, man. And I was like, oh my God, I was screaming. I was like, here comes Salter. And he didn't take that run. And unfortunately, you know, it costed him the race. But fortunate for you, man.
Yeah.
You're sitting back in victory lane second time this season. So,
Yeah.
you know, Colin, if you've got any final words, final thoughts, final shout outs, or anything before we let you go here tonight, buddy, you can go ahead and throw them out there.
Shout out to you guys doing the broadcast. Great job like usual, I'm sure. And shout out to everyone in the league for having me. And shout out to AJ and Lance. I know I got into AJ earlier in the race, but luckily he didn't hit anything until he and Lance got together. But it seems like AJ got with teammates tonight. But yeah, just shout out to everyone in the league for having me, like I said. And I look forward to next Thursday, actually. I look forward to next Thursday, and just hope I can win there.
Heck yeah, Colin. Well, it's always a pleasure to have you up here in the booth, man. And thank you for taking the time out of your night to have a word with us. And hopefully, whatever you got going on Thursday, you do good in. And hopefully next Sunday. Yeah, I knew it was your truck league. I just was making sure. You know, whatever. I didn't want to be an idiot. Oh well, Colin. Just good luck next week, man. And congrats on the win. We'll be seeing you back out on the track next week. And hopefully have a good rest of your week, bud. Good night, and congratulations on P1.
All right, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, Colin. Have a good night, man.
You too, sir.
All right, and that was Colin Forster, your winner. Well, Chris, do you got any final words before we let our Full Throttle fans go here tonight?
You know, just what I normally say every week. You know, just a big shout out to Robbie, David, all the guys in the background that put the league together. You know, do all of the stuff. You know, Austin Rhodes. You know, putting the Xfinity league together, and you know, all of them for letting, you know, me, you at one time ran with them, but, you know, for letting me be a part of, you know, the Xfinity League and the Truck League that Colin was just talking about. You know, we got our championship races coming up. I think we're in the final 8 in the Truck Series, so looking forward to that coming up Thursday. And we also got our Xfinity League Saturday is going to be the last race at Phoenix, so got the Final 4 going into that. That's going to be a lot of fun. But honestly, just, you know, a big thank you to, you know, the Full Throttle guys for letting us be a part of this, letting us have fun and, you know, watch these races and call them.
So I have to echo the same. And I just want to say a big shout out to the Facebook and YouTube. If you're on that Facebook, hit the like button. If you're on that YouTube, hit the subscribe and notification bell so you know when we go live. And just got to say a big shout out to all the partners. And big shout out to Full Throttle, man. It's just it's fun week in and week out getting to watch these boys race and put on a good show. And I'm always excited to see them every Sunday. So, but yeah, big shout out to NC811 Dig. And we'll be seeing you guys next weekend. It's Talladega, correct? Yeah, we'll be seeing you at Talladega. So good night and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And we'll be catching you at Talladega.